Let's go.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning into the story time. Today I'll be telling you a story about the time I had a racist Uber. This was kind of crazy. So this happened, I want to say like a year, maybe a year and a half ago. I remember I was like 18. Yeah, this is before I turned 19. I was 18 and I didn't have a car at the time, so I was still like Ubering a lot. Like I would basically Uber like work, school, work, home, wherever. Like I was just, Uber was my main sense of transportation. So I remember one day like I had to go to this hair store and pick up hair. I don't even know why I was picking up hair that day, but for whatever reason I went to the hair store and I called this Uber and he pulled up and like everything was straight. Got in like the normal, just like, hey, how are you? You know, like sometimes you get into the Uber and like you'll have like a conversation, sometimes you won't have a conversation. It kind of just depends on the mood and like whether like you guys are willing to talk or not. But I'm a really talkative person naturally, so I never really had an issue like communicating with an Uber if they wanted to have a conversation about whatever. So cool. I'm a very like neutral person. Like I don't like argue a lot. I'm not confrontational. I'm very much like, okay, like if you want to keep your drama over there, that's fine. Like I don't want drama. I've never been about it. So I get into this Uber and I'll like describe him a little bit. So he had an accent, so I could tell he wasn't from America, but he looked Caucasian. So he was this maybe like 60s-year-old guy, white hair, Caucasian, had like a European accent. And I asked him like, hey, how are you? He's good. Like, how are you? I'm like, I'm good. And he was like, yeah, I just had like a really like stressful day. And like me thinking, I'm like, oh, you know, you probably had like a bunch of rides and like, sorry if the lighting just changed like completely. It's like super like bright outside. Like you might find some pictures on my Instagram from today because like I like have my makeup turned out and stuff. So, but that's like besides the point. So I get in his car, we asked how each other's day was, whatever, got to that part. And he's like, yeah, I had a really stressful day. And I'm like, oh, okay, like whatever. And he goes to say like, you know, I had some writers today. And I'm like, okay, well, you'll hear a funny story or two, whatever. So waiting for the lighting to like get better. Okay. So he gets to the story and he basically says like, yeah, I helped a woman bring her groceries in from her cart to the car. And then I helped her like take it out. And he's like, it's always the same type of people. And I'm like, I get like this small in my head. I'm like, oh my God, I hope he doesn't say anything like ridiculous and like out of this world. Like I literally thought like, okay, maybe he'll like say like, oh, it's always like just like crazy people that I get. Like I didn't think he was about to say what he was gonna say, but we'll get on to that. So lighting again. Hi. Lighting again. Okay, so he goes to say it's always the same type of people. Big, fat, black women. And I'm like, yeah. I was like, maybe I'm translucent today. Maybe I have like no skin color. Maybe I'm Casper the Friendly Fucking Ghost, because he said that and all I could think was,
I have a different theory. Oh? What's that, Mindy? Well, I think when you were a baby, your mother dropped you on your head, then fed you a bottle of stupid juice, then sucked your brain out with a vacuum.
and then one more. And he proceeds to say, yeah, it's always the same type of people. They're always on like welfare and they probably have no husband to help them raise their kids and they have a bunch of kids and probably on food stamps. I'm like, how the did this just escalate to like just like the most racist shit I've ever heard in my life, like right there in front of me, like no type of like second guessing what he said. And you're probably thinking, well, what was your response? So I said to him, like, you can't judge people based on the fact of like their skin color, and you can't assume that people are poor because they're taking Uber, and you can't get mad that they don't tip you, especially if you're acting the way that you're acting. You think they can't sense your attitude. And I'm like, you don't know what happened to her. Maybe her car broke down today and she needs to go get groceries for her kids. Like, you don't know what happened. And he got upset. He was like, he didn't get like belligerent or anything, but he was like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm like, that's kind of what you're saying. Like, there's what you just said is plain and simple. You have a bias towards black women because she took an Uber in your car. And I'm just like, he drove me to my house, and like at that point I just wanted to get out of the car, so just let me out, like weird, like. And it was just like, it was the fact that he just said it with like no hesitation, because like sometimes, you know, we all have our biases in life and like we all say certain things, and like me personally, if I know I'm about to say some crooked shit, like I usually try to like, okay, let me just shut up and not say anything, because like that's not cool at all. He just like went full blaze, like had no care in the world about it. And so he dropped me off home. I told him, like, it's just not cool what you said. Like, you don't say that about people. You don't know people's situations. You can't judge someone based on their ethnicity or whatever. And like, you just don't know someone's situation. You don't know why they had to take an Uber in your car today. And he was like, okay, I hope you have a nice day, and was just like very like angry about it. So me personally, I, like I said, had never been in a situation like that before. So there's not much I could do as far as like, you know, it was a very short distance, and like I didn't want to get into a confrontation with somebody that I'm in their car. You just never know in this day and age. So I just went on the Uber app and I reported him, and I told them what he said through like the messaging, and they ended up like giving me my fare back. And then I don't know what happened after that, but I would hope that they like suspended his rights to Uber anyway, because it's one thing to like know that this like stuff goes on in the world and like you see it on the news, but it's another thing to have it like happen to you, and to think that like someone on an everyday basis is, and my like where I live is pretty like diverse. Like I live in an area that I like, some of my neighbors are like Trinidadian, I have neighbors on one side that are Colombian, I have Hispanic neighbors on the other side, there's Jamaican people, there's white people, like I have every type of person around me. So for me, like knowing that someone who provides a service with a really well-known company is just like going wherever they want, picking up whoever they want, and could have such negative like assumptions and biases, should not be having that job. Like if you want to be around only one type of person, then you need to go where you can only find one type of person, and then you just need to like not talk to anybody, because putting that out there is just completely negative, and it was just really, really gross.